When you walk through our terminal from our P&D team, from a construction standpoint, and everybody else from maintenance down to IT, yeah, we have a lot of the public facing wow factors, but you can't have the wow factors without all the magic, the core product behind it, and that's the amazing team that goes with that.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Really excited for this one. You know, on the podcast, we love to get the customer perspective, and this is quite the impressive customer and interesting scenario. This is with one of the Empowering Cloud partners, AVI-SPL, who are a great partner of ours as well. Really appreciate their support. So let's get into this customer conversation. Doug, if I could start with you, just introduce yourself and your role.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. Doug Wycoff, Tampa International Airport, and I'm the Director of Digital Technologies and Innovation. My teams, we handle the passenger experience, we handle the customer experience, and we consider customer as our fellow employees as well within the authority. So we have the entire airport campus, our office building, what we call SkyCenter. So we have a broad breadth of audiovisual demands and needs, and it's a full team that monitors and maintains and ensures stability 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have all the policies and everything in place to ensure the check and balance with that standpoint. And it's been kind of a rocket sled on rails for the last 5 years. I mean, and we get into the details from pre-COVID to where we are today. It's been a pretty amazing journey.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get in. Like, we've done some prep, and Rebecca's kind of prepped me on some of the kit you've got, and it's very, very innovative and very exciting. Rebecca, if you could just introduce yourself as well, please.
Yeah, my name is Rebecca Criswell, and I'm the account manager at AVI-SPL, and Tampa International Airport is my largest client. So I've been working with them for about 9 years now. I think, Doug, we're going on about 9 years.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's gone from zero to everything.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's an amazing partnership. It sounds like we'll get into that. Doug, maybe you could kind of set the scene on like your journey and the team's journey at Tampa International Airport, because you're a team shop, right?
Yeah, we're certainly a team shop, and the funny part about teams is we had the same struggle that a lot of people did when you go back to 2018, 2019, in that time frame, and Teams was just coming out, and it was the cool kids thing to get on. But the cool kids thing is sometimes very hard to adapt within an environment. I'll be the first one to admit I wasn't a super fan, wasn't ready to go jump on it. There's a certain generation that I want to walk over and talk to you, and from that standpoint, we can save that conversation. But enter COVID. And COVID kind of took Teams and put it on steroids, because now everybody's at home. We literally, Teams usage, we talked about this not too long ago on a graph, but Teams usage actually tripled within the first 90 days of COVID, after we sent everybody home. So, and that's really what forced the adoption. And it's just been exploited and expanded exponentially since that time frame.
It feels like from the kind of prep conversation, you guys have not just, some people were taken along for the ride. It feels like you've really embraced it and innovated and done all sorts of things, like certainly the SkyCenter. It sounds like maybe you can talk us through what you're doing there with the MTR rooms.
Yeah, there's no question. And at the SkyCenter, our big thing is standardization, because with efficiencies and not to be, one of our objectives is always to be more efficient, less staff heavy. And if the more efficient you are, you should need less staff to support. So a standardization format is one of the big things that we put in place, especially at SkyCenter, because it's literally 30 plus rooms of various makes and models, but they all go back to the core product. And from that standpoint, it's a Teams room. The audio format and footprint is the same. And some of them, and we exploit Teams from our EOC for what we do for emergency response and coordination for any type of thing, whatever happens on the campus. Those are automatic bridges that are set up that we get in, and you can get it from anywhere in the world. You can jump on your immediate bridge to get involved in what's going on at that point. And the standardization part and the audio integration, our big thing was making sure that everybody sounded like very much like this room. I mean, there's microphones and speakers are in the ceilings. Everything is well balanced, and that's really the key piece. The key piece of challenges for us was the various sizes of room, because no two conference rooms are the same size. So ensuring the packets in and out, and when somebody got picked up at the other end of the table compared to somebody that was talking at this side of the table, and getting that all balanced out. I mean, I know there was a weekend somewhere back a year or two ago that AVI-SPL literally spent probably 48 hours in our house tweaking that one particular room, not all rooms, one particular room.
One room.
And that model has followed to our boardroom and everything else. We used to have microphones that sat around the table and people spoke to in the boardroom. We took that same model and put it in there. So now you can have a Teams call in the boardroom and everything flows. You're not, you don't have to holler at somebody, turn on the microphone so they can hear you online. Those type things. It's clean, it's fluid, and every conference room operates in the same manner. Down to our huddle rooms. Our huddle rooms, hold 3 to 5 people. The small conference rooms hold 10 to 12 people. And then we have the larger ones that hold 20 to 25 up to our boardroom.
I love that standardization story. Like you say, you've got everything from huddle, kind of more standard more standard meeting rooms up to big boardrooms. And you said there the standardization that obviously speaks to. You've chosen certain OEM partners. I think you've got Crestron in there. You've got Logi in there. Like you've tried to kind of have a minimum number of partners, but keep innovation going. Is that right?
Oh, no question. And the big thing is trying to establish the things that get out of sync very easily is cameras, is the actual Crestron devices, because you're cruising along and it's the same cookie cutter model. It's rinse and repeat, but the camera's changed. And the camera features, the firmware is the same as the other one. The big thing is that anybody walks in a room, hits join, they have a picture, they have audio, and they can also Teams. They can also share their screen. And that was another big cultural change. Not to adjust, is the fact with Teams, we initially built out that you would come in and plug in your laptop with a cable. And we threw all that out the door after about 6 months and went to strictly a bring your own device and share the screen. You log the room in. If you want to share something as part of the conversation, you simply log into Teams on your laptop, share it with the room. So you can have 6 people in the room sharing different points of content on the same meeting or around the world, either way. But again, it was a cultural change. It was a cultural switch. People are used to people coming in, plugging in your device, logging in and do it all. And for the most part, everything is a bring your own device environment.
That's awesome. And you're doing hot desking as well. So you've got, I think along with Rebecca, remind me, who is the partner you built a custom app with?
Well, 22 Miles built the app for it, and Imbrava has the beacons that are on the desk. And that, is saves space. I think that goes back to what Doug said about efficiency. Right, because you don't need all those.
And the big thing with COVID and the work remote policy of the world today is that we designed our new building. We've got 175 spaces in there. No, everybody doesn't all come to work on the same day. We all know that. And so you have a reservation system, and it says, hey, you can only reserve it out 2 weeks. And you can only reserve it for 10 hours at a time. And so you put those parameters around there, and there's no question. If certain people migrate to the same desk because they're there every day, you bet. But the other side of that coin is that person's gone for 2 weeks. That allows somebody else to use that space from that perspective. And at the same time, if I'm looking for somebody in particular, all I have to do is go to their calendar, see what their reservation says, and I know where they're sitting. So those are all features you can do. We have an app that you can go into and reserve it from that standpoint. Or you can walk up with your badge. That was another change we did. You can walk up with your badge, scan the reader that's at the cubicle, and do an immediate reservation. You can go and extend your stay. If you only reserved it for 4 hours and you're going to stay longer, you can. It's a touch device. If you can extend your stay. So the whole thing is putting control into the employee's capabilities and allowing them the most robust feature from that standpoint to do what they need to do.
That's awesome. So normally with enterprises, this is kind of where the conversation stops. Like there's different types of rooms, there's different types of desks. But with the airport, there's so much more you're doing. like, let's get into kind of digital signage, because the what you're doing there is amazing across both the SkyCenter and the terminal.
Well, there's several aspects. Number one, we have an amazing facility, and there's a lot of people that have hands to make that amazing. And all politics aside, it literally, at Tampa International, it starts from the top down. It's the executive management row that allows us to do what we do. And when you walk through our terminal, from our P&D team, from a construction standpoint, and everybody else from maintenance down to IT, yeah, we have a lot of the public facing wow factors, but you can't have the wow factors without all the magic, the core product behind it. And that's the amazing team that goes with that. And they're working with each and every one of them allows us to bring the features and functionality to what the passenger wants. And you walk through our transfer level today, or most of our levels today, and the LED transition and the ability of the canvas. What we try to tell our customers is, we'll build you the canvas, and you tell us what you want the artwork to be. And so we do a lot of magical things. We have an event space that holds over 100 people. That's got 32-inch LED screen in it that handles about 164. Is that right?
Got 164.
164 across. And it's a wow factor. It's a wow factor that changes the dynamics to the point that's now where we have press conferences. We recently put in a lighting configuration to enhance the lighting for TV-ready press conferences when we're making major announcements and things of that nature. So there's a lot of aspects. Our boardroom at our SkyCenter is, outside of the view being stunning, the features and functionality. It also has a 164-inch screen in it from that standpoint. But we took the first floor at our SkyCenter building, because it's a multi-tenant building. We have 3 floors there, but we have 2 major conference rooms in there. One that holds up to 100 people, and the other one that is almost an executive room. Again, when we took that over, we put a 164-inch LED screen in there as well, and it allows people immediately walk in, and you have that wow. And then when the technology works, it's just icing on the cake. And so it's that is part of it. It's just when we have changes, if we're closing it, we have an escalator that goes bad, we have immediate deck change on the LED screen above it, and are able to do that. And this is really just the tip of the iceberg of where we're going, what we're doing. We're excited about a new airside D that we're planning, and all the technologies that will be built into that. So
the outdoor video wall looks super impressive to me as well. I do a lot of international flights. I haven't seen anything like that, of like having that level of in the kind of parking lot experience.
Oh, the cell phone lot.
Yeah. We're talking about cell lot.
Yeah.
The cell lot is that was one of our very, very first projects, 2018, 2019, in that time frame. The cell lot was one of our very first projects. If you saw pictures of our old cell lot, you would understand the difference between the old cell lot was from 2006. It looked like it was from 2006. But again, it's allowing the flexibility. I mean, the cell lot are 66 feet across, I believe, Rebecca, is that right? Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. And so, they're the best. They're the best presentation of information for outdoors that you're going to find. I mean, the millimeter pitch is the best produced today. But there's many nights, if you came by the airport, there's 2 cell lots there that probably hold 50 plus cars apiece, and they're packed. They're literally packed. And what that does is that keeps them off the roadways. And if your information is accurate, your information is readable, you provide that information, that's what people need. And those are all the little nuances that make a difference, and that allow not only people to rave about the airport, but allows us to work more efficiently. It's a small piece of the puzzle, but it allows us to work more efficiently from that standpoint.
Huge for the end customers going through the airport as well. Like, if you can make that experience smooth and convenient, that's what everybody's looking for. That signage, particularly, I think in your world, by definition, a lot of people are going to be coming for the first time. So it's not like people get used to the environment. You probably have to consider that a lot of people are new every time. So the signage has to really work for them.
We do something as little as what we call our meter and greeter area, where people on our outside, off the air side in the main terminal, are waiting for people to come off the shuttle to meet them. Well, we've got LEDs for each air side there. And one of the big things there is you have the flight information display on the right side. And then a lot of times on the left side, we have what we call flight in sight. Flight Insight allows them to see where their plane is. It's coming in, it'll identify the airline name and number. So it's kind of a cool thing for people to see. Oh, well, okay, it's over Atlanta right now. Well, I'm a little early. So, but that gives them. People have to have a perspective. All they have is the time in most places. But if they can see, well, it's over Atlanta, so I can go buy something at one of our concessions and come back because I know it's over Atlanta and it's only going to get here so quick. So, that time is valid. And
so it's efficiency and experience. It's kind of both.
Yeah, people are very untrusting when it comes to the time because they don't want to. You only get one shot for somebody to come off that shuttle in their first meeting with them, and you want to be there. You came here to meet them, and you want to be there to meet them.
That's awesome. And this whole journey we've been talking about here, the Teams rooms, the digital signage, all the AV. This is working with AVI-SPL over many years. It sounds like.
Let me tell you, AVI-SPL. They're like that. They're like us. They're like any company. We all have our hurdles and challenges. But I will tell you that from the top of AVI-SPL to the bottom people that work at our place, they care. They care about us. They care about getting the solution. I have no problem, I rarely do it, but I certainly am comfortable calling the CEO of AVI-SPL. He understands our business just like everybody else does through there, and the people that work here day in and day out.
And you've got AVI's people on site, so you have it's a real
AVI-SPL people. We got 4 people on site right now, and you talk to them. They're proud to be here because it's not the same thing every day. Every day is a new day. Every challenge is a new challenge. And it's an exciting place to be with what we're very fortunate because we've got the ability and the funding and so forth to make a difference. Our passenger traffic allows us the revenue flow to do the things we do and what I call to make the magic happen that we do.
Awesome. Yep. And you talked about the pace of change in your world and everything you're doing to innovate, also the pace of change with Teams and the Teams ecosystem and choosing vendors. How do you work to kind of choose which vendors you work with, which kit you use? Because I guess AVI-SPL have brought you a portfolio of options.
Well, there's no question. There's a ton of AV companies out there, but a lot of things we do is kind of the same culture we do in a lot of things. You try to stick with what works. Again, it goes back to the consistency thing. I can clearly, it doesn't matter what conference room goes down, what sign has a problem or what issue we have, I know where I'm going. And it's not like when you get multiple vendors going, oh no, that's not our room. That's company XYZ's room. And you call it company XYZ. Well, no, that's not ours either. It must be Jack's. And that's what you get into. And the big thing about having people on site is I can honestly tell you, I could probably count on one hand in the last 2 or 3 years that a meeting ever had to move conference rooms because of failure. Because if you're in the conference room, you're setting up a meeting, and most people get there 5 or 10 minutes ahead of time. And if you're having any problems, you call the service desk. The service desk dispatches one of our techs, and they're literally there within 10 minutes. So you get your problem resolved. Typically, it's just a quick reset of something or reconnect. That's the difference. The difference is you don't have to cancel your meeting. You don't have to move your meeting. That's the importance of having them here. Same thing when we start up in the morning. They have morning routines and they go and ensure all of our signage is appropriate. We don't do what we call worms, which is a run in our LED screen. That's not tolerated. So they do daily checks to ensure the quality of the product that our customers see every day is the same quality of product that we deliver. Same thing in conference rooms. Every conference room gets tested every day to ensure that it will connect and that you can make a call and that everything's working as designed because it may have been sitting there for 12, 18 hours and nobody's done anything with it. Yep. So those are the touches that make a difference.
That's awesome.
Also, I think that makes a difference is I can walk into any room and basically have the same experience. So the touch panel looks the same, and this room, which is bigger, may have 2 cameras instead of 1. So the consistency for anybody using the room and also the help desk to support it, I think that makes a big difference as well.
Awesome. And Rebecca, I'd love to get your perspective on working with Tampa International and it sounds like you've got your hands full in terms of they're pushing for innovation, lots of different conversations around different vendors. It sounds like it's a really exciting account to work with.
I'm very proud. I call the airport my airport. I'm very proud. I love it. And I like that we can be innovative, right? Just you tell me what you need and I'll figure out how to do it. What's the problem? Think outside the box. What's the problem? And let's find a vendor that does it or push a vendor to create it. And having those relationships, and I think it does go down to relationships with the vendors who supports us the most, right? So I can give the support that they know, and the techs can pick up the phone. They have special numbers to call the manufacturers. It's that support that allows us to do things that I'm just so proud of being a part of it. And everybody knows coming through the airport, that's your airport, isn't it, Rebecca? Yep, that's mine. So.
And Tom, I'll tell you, we're a tough customer, and I say that in the context of the fact that we have very high standards, and it's not acceptable for something to be down. It's not acceptable, and they understand that, and that's very difficult to build into the relationship with your vendor, because and making sure that they understand that. But once they have that same pride and they know that they have skin in the game, it makes all the difference in the world. And they start working at a level that of your expectations, it's leaps and bounds above everybody else.
And also remember, this is a 24/7 facility. It's not you can just wait till tomorrow, right? We can't have down monitors. We can't have black.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to have anything black up there. The monitors cannot be black. So that's why we've got the techs on site, and the support is needed because it's a 24-hour facility. You can't stop all the airplanes because of this, besides lightning.
I love how you speak about it, Doug. That level of standard, and I think it's what everybody should aspire to. But in an airport, obviously, absolutely critical. But it makes for such a good user, as in staff at the airport and partners at the airport, but also end customer traveler experience. I think
the passenger experience is what it's all about. To me, is I want to make sure that passenger experience is the best that they can get out of it.
Awesome. Well, Doug, thanks so much for joining us. It's such an interesting environment, and I really appreciate you kind of giving us a virtual tour of understanding all the different things, from the Teams rooms, from the desk booking through to the digital signage. It just sounds amazing.
Well, no, I appreciate you having us on, and it's we love talking about it because we are proud of it. And but I would be remiss again if I don't give credit to this house and these employees from the top down. It really does start there. It takes all of them. It takes the people that get involved in what we would just call an AV project, covers many verticals. So it's truly an airport effort.
Awesome. And Rebecca, thanks again for joining and doing the intro to Doug. I really appreciate it. Thanks everybody for listening in. If you've got any comments or feedback, we always love to hear them. But I hope you enjoyed that very interesting conversation around Tampa International Airport and all the innovative things they're doing. Look out for future podcasts coming soon.
Thanks again, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the opportunity.